Time is a criminal's most reliable accomplice. With every passing year, it actively destroys physical evidence, erodes witness memory, and quietly runs out the clock until a killer becomes legally untouchable. Physical clues like fingerprints and fibers turn to dust. Eyewitness accounts begin to contradict each other as memories fade. And eventually, the legal statute of limitations expires. This means a murderer can walk openly in broad daylight, fully immune to the consequences of their actions, without any fear of a courtroom. Enter the modern criminal profiler. They have access to incredible technology. They can sequence trace DNA and map geographic data with pinpoint accuracy. Yet they sit at a desk surrounded by 15-year-old cold case files that are effectively frozen in time. All the facial reconstruction software and forensic databases in the world cannot solve a mystery if the physical evidence has already deteriorated. It creates an investigative vacuum where progress is impossible. To solve these specific cases, you would literally have to break the rules of time. On a quiet night at the precinct, a discarded, batteryless walkie-talkie suddenly sparks to life. The clock on the wall reads exactly 11:23 p.m., cutting through the silence of the modern office. Through the static comes a voice. It belongs to a desperate, exhausted detective, standing at the exact crime scene where one of those modern cold cases first began. The catch? He is transmitting his message from 15 years in the past. This creates a highly unusual partnership. You have a 2015 profiler armed with decades of hindsight and complete forensic data, whispering directly into the ear of a gritty 1989 detective who was actively hunting the killer on the streets. The walkie-talkie functions as a tactical bridge for the justice system. It offers a brief, impossible window to trap a murderer in the act, stopping the clock before the evidentiary trail ever has a chance to go cold. Let's look at how this mechanism actually plays out in the field. The 2015 profiler analyzes a geographical pattern from a string of unsolved murders. By mapping the exact locations where bodies were eventually found, he radios a specific address back through the timeline to predict the killer's next move. The past detective receives the transmission, mobilizes a squad, and ambushes the suspect in an alleyway, successfully making the arrest in his own era. As the handcuffs click shut in 1989, the 2015 profiler watches his reality shift. The victim reports on his desk literally rewrite themselves in real time. Murder investigations seamlessly transition into simple missing persons files, or erase the crime entirely. By collapsing these two timelines together, they form a highly effective justice engine. They are stopping tragedies in real time and erasing trauma before it can even root itself in the present day. However, time is a fragile ecosystem. Every radio transmission forces a collision between two entirely different eras, inevitably creating ripples that stretch across decades. By rushing across town to ensure one specific victim is saved in 1989, the past detective abandons his original patrol rook. That physical absence creates a blind spot. A different offender slips through, resulting in the deaths of 3 completely innocent people who originally survived. The mechanism demands a harsh toll. Erasing one tragedy often requires an unintended, and sometimes much heavier, sacrifice in the present. Playing God with the justice system is never entirely clean. The intensity of this premise is rooted in South Korea's specific historical experience with unsolved crime. The specific mysteries solved through the radio are heavily drawn from actual, infamous South Korean cold cases. Cases like the Hwasong serial murders haunted the public consciousness for decades, primarily because the perpetrators simply vanished into the night without facing trial. For years, citizens watched as known criminals were protected by strict statutes of limitations or historical instances of police corruption. This legal framework left victims' families with zero legal recourse once the clock ran out. In this light, the narrative functions as a powerful societal coping mechanism. It offers audiences a fictional, satisfying resolution to real-world traumas that the actual legal system failed to address. The walkie-talkie tethers these characters together through a shared refusal to look away from the truth, regardless of the years separating them. Persistent accountability requires a commitment to listening for the signals left by those the system forgot. Healing comes from the refusal to let a case stay cold. If you found this breakdown interesting, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into how cinematic storytelling tackles complex issues. You can also click the video on screen right now for our analysis on true crime in modern media. Because at the end of the day, the best fictional stories often reveal the deepest truths about our reality. Thanks for watching.